Well, hello everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. Very excited to have my next guest, Siya Oum, artist and creator extraordinaire. Siya, it's such a pleasure to finally meet you. I've been following you for a long time on Instagram. I follow you on YouTube. I love your art, and you have a lot of really great things going on in your life right now, comic book related. Can't wait to dig into it. Before we get into that, Siya, how are you doing?
I'm doing great right now. Thank you.
I'm so glad to hear that. I've been following you, and the new title that you have coming out looks absolutely phenomenal. The
Oh, thank
colors
you.
are insane. So I can't wait to dig into that. But before we get into that, for people, if you don't know who Sia is, I doubt it if you're a comic book fan, but just in case, I love to ask this question if it's okay, Sia. We all have influences in our life. Where did this passion for storytelling begin? And was there anybody in your life that kind of supported you or maybe guided you in this area?
Oh wow, I could go through my whole entire timeline. Okay, so it all started with Swamp Thing and Jim Lee, at a comic book shop. My dad took my brother and I there. He wanted a comic book, and he got the Crunch Conundrum with Wolverine drawn by Mark Silvestri. And then I saw the ads in the back of that and I mentioned this because it's so visceral in my mind. It's those T-shirt out cutouts, and you could order the T-shirts from the comic book, and it had Psylocke and it had all the characters, and I think Wolverine and stuff. And I was just in love with his art after I got my, Swamp Thing comic. I was like, I want that comic book right there. I didn't know how you'd get those books as I was so young, and my dad had to take us to the store. And somehow we ended up at another shop months later, and there was that comic book. I'm like, Dad, can I please just have that? I don't know if he understood why I wanted it so bad, because my brother was the one that was reading books, I guess. And I finally got that one, and it had like the fold out covers at all of it, and that my mind exploded with so much joy. I was already drawing like She-Ra and stuff, or trying to, at least trying to, and watching Supergirl on TV, and then Superman. And so I was already familiar with those characters at that time, and of course some of the Batman shows. But to get like an actual comic book and to see it in that form, and then it translated onto TV, there's something in my mind that was just like, there's something special about that. I always wanted to draw She-Ra and the Ninja Turtles. My brother would have Ninja Turtles, and I would have Barbies, and we'd try to make stories up with really tall Barbies and little tiny Ninja Turtles, and they would have to rescue each other, and we built just all those things. It's just the imagination running wild. Your parents are working constantly, so you're always going to have to entertain yourself somehow. So no one ever stopped me from drawing, and that's kind of how it started with comic books. And I never actually stopped. I always bought comics, or sorry, I should rephrase. My parents bought me comics until I was out of middle school, I think. Yeah. So in my first job, I bought comics. So I never stopped. And my influences were first Jim Lee, and then it was, I think, immediately after Jim Lee, it was some of the manga artists back in the day, like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, Akira Toriyama. And then, of course, as soon as I got into Wizard magazine, Michael Turner and those guys at Top Cow, my head exploded again. And I'm like, that's what I knew for sure I really wanted to draw comic books. It was Witchblade. And so, and I'm happy to say that I was the first person that influenced me and pushed me along and helped motivate me was David Wool, because I met him at a convention. I showed him my portfolio, and we kept in touch every so often. Like, I would never show him any new portfolio pieces until I felt like I got better. Like, I waited like 5 years or something before I showed up again, and he's like, "Oh, cool, it's nice to see you again, or hear from you again." It was online, and so yeah, I kept up with David, and then he introduced me to Vince Hernandez at Aspen, and so my dream came true basically from the time I was in high school, and I wanted to work on some kind of Top Cow or Michael Turner project, and with David Wool. So that's kind of how it all started, and it has not stopped since. So it's been pretty amazing.
And you've been able to work on Fathom, right?
Yes, I did. I worked on one volume of Fathom. I think it was 8 issues with Ron Mars,
Yeah.
and Peter got to color my work, which was a dream. We were already friends by then, so he's like, "Oh my God, I have to color Sia." I'm like, "Yeah, you have to color me. I asked for you, so you have to color for me." So he got to color for me, and more credit to him because he works on so many different things. So yeah, that was my bucket list.
Talk about full circle, huh? To be able to be such a fan, and then years
You
later
got
you're working on
I'm
it.
still in awe. Like Joe Benitez was another one. Like, yeah, I loved all the Top Cow artists: David Finch, Joe Benitez, Mike. And to be able to work with Joe on Lady Mechanica, I was just floored. And he taught me so much. He's so gentle with the way he critiques and like moves things along. He's so good at that. But so have all of the ones, the pros I've worked with, basically.
I mean, those are some big names. I don't know if you had a chance to check out Skin Breakers issue 1, the
I
return
keep
of David
hearing
Finch.
amazing things. Oh
Some
my
of the
gosh,
best
are you
art I've
drooling?
ever seen in my
Should I
life.
get it? That's
Oh,
what I hear.
the
Oh my
art is
gosh.
so deep. So David Finch did an interview with Robert Kirkman. I can't remember the channel. I apologize to
Was
those
it
who
Ink Pulp?
there. I'm sorry.
Was it Ink Pulp podcast?
Ink Pulp, they were both on Ink Pulp, and there was another one I watched it on, and I
I
can't
think I
remember off the top
remember.
of
I
my head.
vaguely
But
remember. Yeah.
David Finch, he's been kind of out of the scene for a long time, and none of us really knew he's been working on this for like 8 or 9 years.
Wow. No, I
And
didn't
when
know.
you read issue 1 and you see that art, you'll know why it took so long. I've never seen such detail. Like all these artists have amazing panels, but again, depending on, and you could speak this better than I am not an artist, depending on how much pressure maybe is on to get, pages
Your
done,
deadlines? Yeah.
probably determines on how much detail you put in the background, right?
Oh yeah.
And the background is as beautiful as the character jumping off the page. I've never seen such detail
I
in my
keep
life.
hearing that kind of stuff. I have to see this
Yeah,
now.
you got to check it out.
Oh
It
my
is
gosh.
phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, David Finch is like another level. It's just insane. To,
Those guys, the way they came up, and especially because Mark was head of Top Cow. I mean, being an artist too, it was really easy to kind of critique and help move these guys along, and they were all living in the same quarters. So the competition and seeing it like in real time, seeing someone improve. Oh my gosh, I could only imagine me being in that environment. Like the closest I ever got to that was at a convention, sitting next to Peter and a few of my other guy friends, but like that's about it, you know. But imagine if you're stuck in the office with these guys with the same deadlines, how much better you'd get and how fast you would be. But yeah, those guys are legends for sure, and they're
Now, when
still
you
doing it.
said your father took you and your brother to the comic book shop, I gathered that it was for your brother,
Hmm.
right? Because he was already reading comics. But here you are,
And
you
yeah.
jump in. Is your brother still into comics today and has that kind of role switched, and now you're the comic person and maybe moved on to other things?
Well, he's more into manga now,
Okay, yeah.
and then in gaming, is definitely I'm still definitely the comic book person. I was like, I picked it, I'm gonna stick with it. So
Was your
yeah, it's,
father kind of surprised that you took on so much so quickly, and then obviously you've made a career out of it?
he's so proud. It's funny because he's pretty like, you know, quiet about things, but then he took, because I used to work at Safeway with my dad, he was my manager. But the store manager, he was so proud of my book when it came out. He's like, "Here, sign it for me." I'm like, "Dad, he's not gonna want to read this book. It's post-apocalyptic." But he's took it to Kevin, my manager, and my manager's so like in shock. Yeah, I mean, most people were, but it was just like my dad was so proud of me and my mom, and you know, like they didn't understand it completely, but they understood that they helped support it in some ways, and they saw the art, and they're like, "Oh, you've gotten better." Because my dad was like my worst critic when I was growing up. He's like, "This doesn't look right." You know, credit to my parents because they didn't mean it in a mean way. They're just like blunt. They didn't say, "Oh, you'll never get better." They're just like, "Right now, it just doesn't look right." And I was like, "Okay." And that's probably why the critiques and the edits from my editors don't really faze me as much, because my parents were really good at that.
Well, obviously it paid off because your art
Oh
is
yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
incredible, Sia. Yeah, insane. Well, let's jump into this current title because, like I said, it looks amazing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen because right now it is on Kickstarter. And again, your goal was about 10 grand. You've
It was
almost
9.99.
9.99.
It was
And you,
9.99
I know it sounds like it should be like a car sales
I
commercial.
was thinking about doing that, like a car sales, a used
That'd be
car sales pitch.
hilarious. Just for 9.999.
And you get a free ash can in the first 48 hours of purchasing this book.
I love it. I
It was
love
in
it.
my head.
Well, obviously my assumption is you had 30 days for your Kickstarter, 21 days, and you've almost tripled that. So obviously you have a built-in fan base that understands
It's
your
so
skill
amazing.
set and they're jumping on it. So congratulations.
Thank you
But
so
there's just
much.
21 days. So anybody that's listening, the link's going to be below. Just click that link. It'll take you right to Kickstarter and you could back also. And we're going to show you right now because it is phenomenal looking.
Thank
We're just
you.
going to walk through the Kickstarter, see, and I'm going to let you kind of walk us through what we're seeing and the opportunities for fans to get their hands on this title and what they could expect without, obviously, we don't want to give anything away, but what they could expect once they get this title into their hands. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So here we go. Let's jump right down. Give us a little bit of like an elevator pitch, if you could, of
Can I just
what
read what's on
is
there?
Neo Wonderland? Yeah.
I'm trying to practice that elevator pitch, but then I go into a diatribe basically. Like, but
Whatever you need to do.
I
This is a
digress.
podcast, so it doesn't have to be 30 seconds for
I'm
sure.
gonna try. You know what? I should practice, so I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, sounds good.
So this is a cyberpunk story. It takes place in the future, not too distant future, I guess. And it's about two brothers. One goes to prison when he was a child for murder, and after 10 years, he comes back out and he tries to rekindle his relationship with his younger brother, and who was supposed to be living with their mom. And when Saint gets out of prison, he finds out his brother moves into the city, and everybody knows that the city is actually a very seedy, corrupt place. And so Saint follows his brother to the city. He thinks his brother is a tax collector because that's what his mom was told. He tax collects, but he finds out that his brother is under a lot of debt and he owes a lot of people in town a lot of money. And Saint tries to get his brother out of trouble and out of debt, and he tries all these different legal means of getting him out of debt. And the more he tries, the more he gets pulled into this underworld. And so after he's exhausted all legal means, he basically becomes an assassin. So that's the gist of my story.
Love it. I love it.
Yes, that was as short as I could get it.
That was actually really good. See you for if you didn't prepare that, you did extremely well. So congrats on that. I feel like
Without reading.
being in enormous debt and not knowing how to get out of it legally, I feel like almost everybody can kind of relate to that. Obviously, we don't want
Yeah,
to become assassins to get out of it, but I'm not
doesn't
saying
work
that's
that
not on the
way.
table, though. I'm just saying it's there, right?
Yeah, I know. Anything is possible. So,
Exactly, exactly.
especially in my book.
40 pages, so you're getting quite a bit for your buck, which I love.
Oh, thank
And
you.
so let's kind of walk through it. We were just talking about backgrounds and
And
details,
time.
and right away you jump into this page. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean,
Oh,
this is
thank you so
insane.
much.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when you jumping into a page like this, obviously this is your baby. So you're putting everything into this. How long does
Mhm.
a page like this kind of take you? Walk us through like your process.
Well, if I'm being completely transparent, because I knew I had to get this Kickstarter going right away, and I'm like, I needed something because I was the story did not start out with the shot of the city, which I don't know why I didn't think, duh, of course you want the city there first. So 3 or 4 days before I was gonna tell my fans on YouTube that I was gonna have this Kickstarter, I basically pulled this page together. So it took 3 nonstop days of like penciling, inking, and then coloring in Clip Studio Paint, so my software. So
Yeah.
about 3 days for this page. I did a little thumbnail first, so I knew that the perspective was right, and then I blew up that thumbnail onto 11 by 17 copy paper, and then I just put all the details in. But it had to be like the best thing I've ever done, city wise or background wise, or else like because it's like the Gotham City of my book. Basically, it establishes everything. So.
Incredible. Insane. Talk us about colors, right? Because we were just
Mhm.
talking about your art, your penciling, with colors, like how your colors look incredible. I feel like it just hits you in the face. It's almost 3D. Talk about colors, like obviously you have the skill set to do it. We're looking at it right now. How long have you been doing colors? And is there other projects that you've done where you've done the pencil inks and the colors with?
So when I started out, the first thing I actually did was outside of I think it was like 8 pages for Zenoscope was like a little short story, Grim Fairy Tales. But for the most part, like when I started out, I was actually a colorist at Aspen. I was just helping and learning under Peter for a bit, and I was just doing covers and pinups with Photoshop at the time. So it was mostly digital, and then I kind of went back to my roots where I was doing traditional pencils and inks again. I have colored, inked, and no, I didn't let her. Sorry, Lola XOXO, which was published by Aspen, and that was my first creator-owned book. That was 3 volumes, and that was colored traditionally with markers and watercolor and stuff like
Oh,
that.
wow.
So that was the first one, and it was so hard to do that. So that's why I decided not only was it better to do this with digital colors because it's cyberpunk, but it was going to save me a ton of time and I could play around with the colors a lot more in the hologram. So it worked. So the traditional stuff worked for Lola because of the genre. It was post-apocalyptic, but for this, I went with this instead. So
It's phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. So much detail too. Let's talk about this character right here. And
that is Saint. That is our protagonist. Yeah,
yeah,
the assassin, the newly minted assassin.
the older brother, right?
Yes, the older brother. Yeah.
Incredible. And talk about the board that he's using.
The
And was this
hoverboard.
always the hoverboard? Was this always part of who this character was going to be for you in the comic, or did this kind of
Um,
come later on?
he was actually supposed to just use it a little bit, but then I'm like, it's a hoverboard. Why would I just let him use it a little bit? Let's go with this thing. So I was like, here, you take, we're gonna make this hoverboard or the whole thing with hoverboards in my comic book so special that it's gonna stand out as a hoverboard type of comic book. You know, like that extreme skating. I'm gonna say this wrong, like
Yeah.
rollerblading. They're gonna call me my
No.
partner John is a rollerblader. They have a name for it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
every time I say it wrong, he's like, "You're saying it wrong." But it's like surf culture and all the stuff back in the '90s. Like I want to make it like the extreme sport of my comic book. So anybody on a hoverboard, you got to watch out for those guys when they're out there. So.
I love it. When you're developing your storyline and you start to kind of put it all together, what is the first thing that you do from a creative standpoint? Do you start with the city, what the city is going to look like, or do you start with character development first, what your character is going to look like, the naming of your characters, the designs, and then build everything around them?
I think it's a little bit different each time. Like with Lola, I came out with I just thought genre and I thought character, what I want my lead to look like. With this one, it was more. I like the idea of how the island, the city would look, and the way that it would operate. And I felt like you could make some cool characters within that, like lawlessness in that country, because it's a man-made island, and the rest of the world is basically not controlled. The world constitution is AI basically. It's not a human anymore, and so there's an AI constitution that kind of operates on in most instances for most countries. But this one's more of like a rogue in a way, and so it's different. So that world was always something I had in my head. It was always going to be man-made or something that wasn't natural, or a lot of technocrats basically built their own thing, and it's basically a garbage island that the world dumps all of their garbage at, like airplanes and really big things, and they innovated and turned it into this island or this world right here. And that's why it's fun to play with it, because you could have people modding their hoverboards and cars to fly, but with really old, cool looking like Mustangs or something.
That's
And
dope.
you create like these cool things, and I feel like that would be kind of fun to just be able to, like, for design purposes and story purposes, I think would be kind of cool. So.
That's amazing. When we finally get the comic in our hands, and you just mentioned like cars, we were talking about Sean Murphy earlier, and he is
The
known.
king, the
He's the
king.
king of vehicles.
Yeah.
Were you inspired to add a little bit of that kind of flair throughout your title?
I think so, but then I was like, I want to outdo Sean though. That'd be nice. I can't, I'm not inherently, as we talk about, I joke. We joked about the car thing during the podcast, and I'm not going to go toe to toe with Sean with that stuff, but the hoverboard's mine.
I love it. I love it. That's so awesome. The other thing I have a question about is your other Lola. What came first? Was it Neo or was it Lola? And then did you have to make a decision that we felt maybe Lola was the right place to start from a creator own and that you would save this storyline later?
hmm
Or
hmm
did it actually flow in that order where Lola was always first in your creation?
Actually, this book I came up with a little over 20 years ago. I was in college when I came up with this story, and it changed so much. The only thing that stayed consistent was the two brothers, the island that was man-made, and then there was going to be a lot of mob seedy stuff in there. A lot of the cyberpunk elements kind of slowly took shape, like, less than 6 years ago.
Oh,
And I
wow.
had the AI thing written out, like I mentioned before. It was like the island, sorry, the whole world is AI and stuff. And I thought I was being clever 6 years ago, but right now I'm like, I don't know if I want that to come true though.
Yeah, I know. A little
It's
scary,
not
right?
very, and now I get to play with like some real world ideas where I could kind of explore it in the book.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what was exciting about it. Thank God I didn't write it because I thought I'd be so clever, and people are like, "You're just, it's so trite." So now it's more interesting. So hopefully,
How hard is it to have an idea like that, and then sit on it for 20 years?
it eats at you. At least for me, it ate away at me. I was like, I wanted to, because I had fans from like way back in the day, from 20 years ago. I released these drawings. I mean, in fact, in the sketchbook, that if you back that tier, you're gonna see the really old, embarrassing drawings, and then the stuff I had, just like the progression of how the story and the characters looked and the way I colored and stuff. So people are gonna see that and they're like, probably like, oh my gosh, finally, thank God, just get it over with already. So yeah, it hurts because you put it out there. You're like, yeah, look at my book. It's gonna be so cool. 20 years later.
20 years later, yeah. Maybe your dad's like, I'm glad you waited 20 years.
Yeah, well, he's probably not glad that I left all my comics at his house. I should probably pick up. I really want to bring my stuff here, but
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna ship all that here. It's a lot. You know, it's kind of like what you have going back there. It's a lot of comic books.
It's a lot. Yeah. We moved recently and it's such a pain to box everything up and then move
And
it.
carefully, right? Carefully without
Yes.
breaking anything.
Oh, I'm very like, don't, I'll do it. I'll touch it myself. Don't mess with my
Not a
stuff.
moving, not a moving company, right? They're not like just throw it into
Nope.
the box. No.
I got this. It took us longer to move my room than the rest of our house.
It's the same with me too, though.
Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. Well, I mean, this looks phenomenal. Let's keep going. We have a lot of examples of panels. I love those glasses. I assume
Hmm.
that you could probably see a lot of different things through these glasses.
Hmm.
Maybe it speaks to you a little bit and you could read through them. Like, can you kind of, will we be giving anything away to kind of dig into the glasses right here and how they
Oh yeah, we could
function?
totally talk about it.
Yeah.
So the younger brother has obviously been not in prison for 10 years, so he's up on all the tech, and he's like, I got this. And you know, they're both assassins, and one of them using a screwdriver. He's kind of old school, and
Oh, wow.
he's
Oh,
gonna be
messy
in
too.
for he's gonna be in for a surprise, you know, and that's what's gonna be fun about this scene right here. It's you're gonna get to see what 10 years apart could do to you as a human being and as your family's members, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Love it.
definitely see a lot more with that tech.
Incredible. And it's so beautiful.
Here we go. He's about
That's
to go in.
all
This is pretty early on in the book, so I'm not giving anything away at all. Yeah.
right, very good. Look at the background though. The city looks so awesome.
And look at all that. What is it? It's like space junk, but it's just flying cars and stuff from far away.
And you could tell through like the facial art that you're obviously a big fan of manga. I think a lot of
Hmm.
us are.
Hmm.
I'm so addicted to like Chainsaw Man and stuff like that.
Isn't that cool? Like the grittiness, but it's
Oh,
still got its own like manga edge to it. Yeah.
I love
It's,
that. I love
I
that.
love speed lines to
Yeah,
death.
it's feel like dope.
I'm all about that.
Can we talk a little bit about this person right here?
Yes, so Aya is a private detective, and I won't give too much away about what she's trying to solve or figure out, but then she's a huge part of the story.
Nice.
And then that's her pet, but he's also her sidekick, Pocky, the cat. And he has an AI buddy that's, well, they're both real cats, and they both just passed. Well, one passed away a few years ago, and the other one just recently passed away. So Pocky's no longer with us. But when I designed these characters, the black cat with the wings was my brother's older cat, Garrus, and so Pocky had an AI version of his, buddy that passed away, and so he's a floating cat. He's an AI that has like, electricity. He could do certain things like open locks and all that. It's like an RPG. But so in my world, people like put their pets that have passed into an AI form, and sometimes if you lose, kind of like you lose your cell phone, you lose your cat. So there's like AI cats just floating around like holograms in the alleyways, and they're just like ghost cats basically. And so you see these kind of things in the book. It'd be
I love
interesting, but it's just an
that.
excuse to draw cats, I think.
I love it though. That's so cool. All right, let's talk about. So we've already hit one threshold. It looks like something's been unlocked for us.
Hmm.
Can
And
we kind
that's
of walk through what fans could expect with this first unlock?
So that's just the magnet because a lot of my fans on the live stream, they're like, "Oh, we love magnets," and I had no idea people liked magnets. They're like, "Yeah, I use it for this, this, and that." I'm like, "Okay, let's do a magnet." And obviously, we have to keep it within a certain budget because the bonus items are actually free.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking of things that'd be really cool, but also be nice to just add on to the tiers for everybody that's backing the physical tiers. So there's three more tiers of that. I'm trying to figure out which one's going to go next right now. So we have like different items that we're pricing out and trying to figure out what's the next move for that. But I also want it to be like really cool and designed specifically for that tier. For example, if it's a sticker, then it's specifically designed for sticker and not like a reused piece of art that I have somewhere else because I'm obsessed with like little trinkets and stuff like that. So we have keychains and all that right
That's
now.
awesome.
So for the add-on
I
items.
think we're all a little addicted to that.
And that was the Ashcan early bird special for the first 48 hours. And that was fun because I was like, someone like my live stream, I love them so much. They give me the best ideas. They're like, "Oh, what about an ash can?" I'm like, "What a great idea. I love ash cans." So we're going to have numbered ash cans for the first, I think the first 48 hours, we had 244 people. So there's going to be numbered like 1 out of 244, 10 out of 4, 244 instead.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got mine. I saw that. I'm like, oh, I better back right now. I don't want to miss out on the Ashcan. It looks dope. All right, here's our covers right here. Can you kind of walk through the covers, and let us know who some of the guest artists were?
Oh, they're all me.
Is that all you? This one too on the right? I knew this one
I
was.
love it. I love it so much. That's the joke.
This
It's
one
like,
did not look like
oh,
the
it's
rest
because I
of your.
colored it with ink. That's why. It's
Ah,
ink. So
so
that's
good.
traditional. I went back to my Lola roots for that one.
That's awesome. What a great idea, too.
It's all me. It's funny because it was a couple of reasons. It's like it because I didn't plan it far in advance. I didn't think to budget for all the covers I wanted, and I had to ask all my colleagues and people I knew. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have to go with me this time. And then a couple of my friends were like, that's actually smart because this is your first Kickstarter. You want this all to be about you and your IP and your story and your characters. And so just do it like this for now. And I have all this art that I did for it's 20 years.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of art. And so I was like, okay, let's go with me. I just no shame here.
No
Cover
shit.
A,
I
B,
mean,
C,
it's
D.
phenomenal. And I didn't notice because the colors were so different.
No, I
And now I
know.
know why. That's amazing. Incredible. So there's four covers that are
Mhm.
available. Amazing.
And a lot of the fans were used to the black and white art, so that's why there's some
So
black and white
popular
covers.
right now. Black and like yeah, black and white is a little tricky. Sometimes it looks amazing. Sometimes you're like, man, color would really make that pop.
Hmm.
But yeah, these are phenomenal.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
like I'm a big Conan the Barbarian fan, so the Savage Sword and some of the old black and white Conan
I've
stuff.
never seen the black and white versions.
Oh,
I've
you
only
should
seen the
check it
color
out.
versions.
Savage Sword has always been more black and white, and we're getting such amazing artists in Conan, the Savage
Oh, nice.
Sword. Like we're getting
Hmm.
all these Joe Jusko, Liam
Hmm.
Sharp. Like these guys were born to draw Conan the Barbarian, and in their
Nice.
black and white or grayscale is just phenomenal. But these are
Oh
awesome. Yeah,
man,
these are
thank you. Well, you know
incredible.
what's awesome is I could always go back and color them. So
You
because I'm
could.
coloring myself, so it's like I could just add another variant
Yeah,
with color.
exactly. You could. But I mean,
Yeah.
a really good black and white is phenomenal, and these all look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Incredible. All right, let's talk a little bit about the metal covers. These are kind of exciting.
My partner John, he liked cover C. He's like, that should be the main one of the main covers because it looks holographic. So I'm thinking that when you print it out in metal, it's gonna look really cool because it's inverted. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the things, the covers. I want them to look kind of futuristic. So the way the art looks and the color, I'm thinking that when you have metal, it's just gonna look kind of cool with the colors and everything. So let's hope. Let's hope. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. No, it looks dope.
And a black and white edition. Yes, we all wanted one of these because A, I love black and white art. I love other artists' artist editions, that Marvel and DC, I think it was mostly DC
Yeah.
released. And Sean's done a few of those already. And so I was a huge fan of that. And since it looked like a manga to begin with, I'm like, let's just release the black and white version. And someone asked me a good question. They're like, if we bought the black and white edition, is it possible to get this in the digital form? I'm like, oh, I guess, yeah, I guess I could. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to add that somewhere on there. Since I had to put this whole page together for the most part myself, like there's some things that I wish I knew ahead of time. Like I didn't
Yeah. You're
think,
good. You're good. I think you did all right. I think you did all right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then we have all the interiors and looks phenomenal. I mean, what would be really cool, like down the road, is to take the black and white and actually put it in like a manga size
I want to
book.
do that. I'm just like, I wonder what it looks like. I mean, page wise or paper wise, I'm wondering how that would,
Hmm.
logistically, but that was my goal, my dream. I'm like, I would be nice. And that's why the logo is upside, I'm sorry, not upside down. It's up and down because it's a lot like manga. And
Absolutely.
so it's like a combination of the
Very
two.
cool.
So,
I mean, you've seen, oh, they're back. I think I put them on the other shelf, but the new DC compacts that they're taking some of the old
no.
stories, like you haven't seen them, the
Oh,
9.99 ones. I'm gonna grab one real
oh,
quick.
oh yeah, that would
It's
be
just
cool.
right here, but you should check these out. They're pretty dope, and they're going back, and they are taking some of the most like famous
Oh,
storylines. So this is the new
nice.
one, the Harley Quinn and Gotham Sirens. But they taken them, they're putting them 9.99, and they're color though, so they're not
Hmm.
like traditional, but they're like manga size. So
So it's
I
possible after all.
it is possible, and I just throw
Okay,
this in my backpack. So I travel a lot around the U.S. Because of the job I'm in, and I throw one in my backpack and I read them on the plane as we're
awesome.
going because it's so easy and compact. That's why they call
I
it
guess
DC
that's why
Compact.
novels and mangas are so popular as a size, I'm assuming.
It is,
Makes
I think
sense.
that's one of the reasons why it's so popular. And also,
You
I
could
feel
stick in
like
your pocket,
you
you
get a
know?
lot of story too with the manga, whereas, with I'm obviously a comic book fan, but you're
Hmm.
getting 22 to 26 pages, you wait a month for the next one. I
Yeah,
think the younger generation wants to have a little bit more meat of the story. So
makes
the
sense.
manga, right, you're getting 100, 120 pages and you're getting a full, start, middle, and end to that arc, and then you move on to the next, volume. But yeah, it's incredible, and you could easily do that with yours, I think.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
There was another book that was competing for what was going to go first. It was called Dragon's Glacier, and that was going to be the actual black and white manga version of one of my stories. And I showed my live stream, I think it was a couple weeks ago, but I think I didn't realize I had 20 pages drawn already. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to figure that one out. But let's do this one first.
Yeah, yeah, finish this one, but it sounds like you have some material to do some pretty cool stuff for a while.
Yeah, I think this is how my career is going to end, basically.
I
Just
love it.
drag into cyberpunk. I'm hoping that'd be kind of
Yeah.
nice, right?
Yeah,
So.
it'd be huge. It'd be huge. This is 40 pages. How much of a story, or can you even talk about that? Like, is there a certain amount of issues that will kind of map out like
Round.
an arc for you, or do you know
I'm
how many issues you want to do?
For the first story arc. It's going to be six. It's like equivalent to like six floppies.
Okay.
And I like with Lola it was 3 volumes. I can easily go on and on with this, but I want to make sure that I condense it down to at least the first story arc to 3 volumes. Yeah. So yeah.
Beautiful.
And
Amazing.
then it's going to be a beautiful little trade paperback. Hopefully, that's the
Yeah,
goal.
that's the goal. That's the goal.
But like I think I mentioned to a couple of my friends, I'm like, I'm not a retconning kind of person, which means if I kill someone off in my story, that's it. So I have to be very thoughtful about like, is the horse gonna go this time? Is the horse gone? Yeah, the horse is gone. So I killed off Lola's horse, and that was that. So that way I could keep building on the world if I ever wanted to come back to it. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's something to be said. Obviously, there's that trope in comic books, no one actually ever really dies. Uh,
I know what. Let's break it. Let's break that
let's
trope,
break it, right? Yeah,
right?
absolutely. There's a lot more skin to the game, right?
That's what's so interesting about like AI and stuff and CG and films is like when you know it's CG, there's no risk, there's no stakes,
Yeah.
not real ones. You kind of subconscious, it's like, that monster really didn't eat that person, or whatever.
Exactly. We got your sketchbook too in this as an opportunity, which is amazing.
Like I was telling my fans, it's a very self-centered thing because I always wanted my own sketchbook, and because I
Yeah,
like other
good.
people's sketchbooks, I'm like, I just want one with my stuff in it. So.
I love it. I mean, you're such an amazing artist. I think a lot of fans who are fans of your art would love to have a sketchbook of all your
Hmm.
characters and the designs,
A
and
lot of people
and there's
like
something
rough
to
stuff.
understanding kind of how you came to that final.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. I always think that's kind of fun to go back and like, oh, okay, that's what she was thinking about. That's pretty cool.
It's like showing your work in math. Like you got to
Yeah,
show your work or you don't get a grade back in the day. Yeah, I
that's
don't
why
know
I
if they
didn't do
still do
very
that
good in
now.
school. Yeah, I love it. So you got a lot of like you're really seeing the character development.
Yeah, lots of sketches.
Is this you just kind of doodling on a blank piece of paper with a couple different colors of pen?
Yeah, so that was like I think it was like '05 color lead, and I was like, it's cyberpunk, so I was trying, like neon colors and purple, just having fun. But I love the way that color pencil or colored lead, how it looks when it flows. But try erasing that thing. I tried doing a whole page just with that, just my line art, and when I'd mess up, I'm like, oh my gosh, you can see their face like 5 different times. It doesn't fully erase. I'm like, this is a disaster because I was trying to figure out how I was going to color this book. I literally have one page. It's going to be in the sketchbook too, where it was colored, kind of like that cover you saw that was ink. It's colored
Yes,
ink with that color, that kind of pencil.
this one
Yes,
right
the
here.
second one. Yep. So
Yeah.
that's what the coloring, that was something I was trying to go for. And then I was like, okay, this is taking too long. So never mind.
Well, that looks pretty dope. All right, here's some of the reward tiers. There is a digital, so all you digital natives out there, there is an opportunity to pick up the digital. And then we jump right into the physical tiers, which is awesome. Here's cover A that we talked about.
Hmm.
Here's that beautiful cover B with the different style of
Hmm.
inking and colors, which, to be honest, it's so different. That's why I
Hmm.
was like, who's the guest artist for this one? So that's pretty awesome.
It's
Shows a lot
been
of
efficient.
diversity in your talent too.
I needed to stay alive in the comic book career. So you got to do what you got to do.
True, true. Like, what is the difference in time between these to put like how long does it take this and how much longer, or vice versa, to
Hmm.
put these together just due to the different style of art that you used?
It's maybe not even by a 3 hour difference
Okay.
per thing because I'm so used to coloring on paper and stuff. But then I think it's more I wanted the consistency of the way the colors and the theme went. Where when you have traditional mediums like ink and stuff, there's a variation, and so it kind of pulls you out of the cyberpunk world somewhat. And that's why I decided not to do it that way because I probably could have just stuck with the traditional, but and it also costs more money to buy that much ink and do that kind of book. It's just maybe when I make $1 million for sure, I'm all about that. Let's go. Let's do this all in ink.
Goals, right? Let's get her in ink. Yeah. Get over there and back. The link's below. Let's see it get to an
A
entire
million
issue.
dollars, and then we all get fake hoverboards.
Yeah, there you go.
I want one so bad,
Oh,
but
that would be insane. They're coming. They're coming.
I hope so.
I think they are. I think they are. These are
Not
awesome.
for practical reasons, just because we all want one.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some inventions that aren't practical though.
No, not
Maybe.
I like the birds. I don't know if you where you live, you have those scooters, the electric scooters, but when they hit, like I lived in San Diego for a while,
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
everywhere,
I
and they're
remember
so
that.
fun. They're so fun, but they're
I'm
like
afraid.
littered everywhere, but I love them. That's kind of our version of a hoverboard till these come out.
I know. Yeah.
Very cool. So we have some tiers where if you want to get multiple covers plus the sketchbook, like there's so many different opportunities for you to pick up everything. Here's all four covers. Really good pricing too.
Oh, thank
And
you.
then we get
And
into some of these metal ones that sound phenomenal.
those are super limited. Thinking as of right now, we're probably going to print only 30 of each.
Oh, wow.
Just in case some of them get damaged, then it's going to be less than that, or less covers than that. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
This is my first foray into getting my own printed because I have some from like Lady Mechanica and some Lady Death cards that were like metal, so it looked really cool, I guess.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
do look awesome. I mean, they pop. You could see them from across Comic-Con.
Oh, really? So they're reflective. Like if
Yeah,
you
they're
ever get
like
lost in the woods, make sure you have a metal cover.
exactly. Yeah, as you're walking, because all the lights in a con, you could see the metal ones as it
Oh,
the
that's
like
so cool. I didn't
it's
know
really
that.
cool. Yeah.
It's been that long for me. I think metal covers feel like they're fairly more recent in terms of how often you see them around, I think.
Yeah, you don't see too many of them mainly because of the cost.
Hmm.
But what an awesome opportunity to get your hands on one. Here's the
Super
super fan.
fan.
We're starting to get into quite a few bundles, which is pretty cool.
So this is all for the kitty cat. He's got
Yeah.
his own shirt, cover, all sorts of stuff.
Love it. Here's a little bit of everything too from a comic standpoint, the white and
Hmm.
black edition, the sketchbook, and obviously the covers and color.
And that's all the metal covers. So that's all three of them.
Yeah, getting some discounts if you get all of them.
And then this one's all the covers. So
It's
the
amazing.
three metals and then the four uh, regular ones. Yep. And if you love everything about me, then you'll buy this one. I'm just
There you
joking.
go. Yeah,
It's,
seriously. If you want everything, man, here it is.
sometimes it's just better to do it that way so you don't have to pick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm just joking. If I could, I would for sure. Um,
absolutely.
so we
You get
got
a lot of
keychains,
stuff
we got
there.
trading cards. We have a mini print that's going to be numbered and signed.
That's
And
all.
all of these come with a certificate of authenticity. Anything that I sign, just and then I think we're probably doing a CGC option. I'm looking into that because of the binding for the book. So we're just locking down to make sure like we don't have too many pages where we can't staple anymore and then, run into some more problems. So
Yeah. I think 40 pages you should be able to, maybe not the metal ones, but the other ones you should be able to do. It'd be interesting to see if the metal could go into CGC too. I don't know.
yeah, I know. I haven't seen anybody try that, but I guess metal would be an interesting one because it's kind of indestructible. So it's like, well, your cover's nice, but what about the interior stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's awesome. And then some
And then
commissions. Do you have any commissions available still?
I didn't look. I haven't looked for a while. I don't. I think I might have a few bust sketches left, but all the half body and full bodies are taken because there was only 8 of those, and
Okay.
there's I think 12 of these. So
Awesome. Beautiful. So cool.
yeah, so those are all taken. I should
Yeah.
probably make a new graphic so
Yeah, just
that
like
people
on
know.
top of here, maybe just
Say
say
it's like
sold.
sold.
Well, look at this.
Oh yeah, original pages. That's right. So that's the
You're selling
original.
some of your originals too?
Yeah, just the
Oh, wow.
yeah. So I think that one was the first one that sold, and
Wow.
so I'll put something over there,
That's
and then
crazy. Oh, here's that city one. I can see how that this should be gone if
I
it's not
don't even know if
ready.
that. I didn't even look. I should probably
Yeah,
look.
it should be though. I mean, the detail on this is crazy.
Oh, thank you. That
Yeah.
was fun and scary to ink. It was fun to ink and scary to ink because I was getting overly excited. I'm like, I just want to get into the detail. I just want to get it over with. After a while,
Yeah.
you're like, progressively, like this was a bad idea. Towards the
Yeah.
end.
That's funny.
I think that one
That's-
might be sold. I don't know. I have to go look at the bottom of the backer tier on the right hand side.
Yeah,
It
I
shows all
think
the ones that it's all the way to the
let's
bottom.
go.
Yeah.
We could tell you right now.
That
Um,
one's sold
yeah, that one's gone.
and
That one's
that one's
gone.
that one's definitely gone.
That
So
one's
that's the
gone.
first.
Yeah,
That one's
that one's
gone.
gone. You might have sold all your original art. Let's see up here. Did I miss one?
The city's huh.
I think you sold them all.
Really?
That's what it looks
Oh
like.
no, it's right there. No, that one's still there. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Usually the character is gonna go first, and that was my assumption. And then
Yeah.
progressively.
But the city landscape is just crazy.
It's kind of like with me when I got my own when I bought Sean's page. I made sure the page I got had his tech on it. Like I wanted just some little tech thing on his page. So I got the page from the Wake that
Yeah.
had the main character, and then you had like this vehicle in the back, and they're coming to pick her up or something, and she's in the little truck, and she's gonna drive off. I got that page. I was so happy. You have no idea. I was like, I got an original. I paid for someone else's art. Yay!
That's awesome.
So proud of myself.
Yeah, I mean, Sean is so talented. It's insane.
And I joke with some of my friends. I'm like, I'm only a comic book artist, so I could be friends with all these cool artists that are just my idols, and I want to buy their art and I want to get sketches from them and stuff. So it works. It works out pretty well.
Yeah, if I had that talent, I'd be doing the same thing.
It's like, here, can you draw my sketchbook?
Exactly, exactly. So all kinds of really cool swag
Yes,
available.
Pocky with a fish bowl on his head.
This is cool. A lot of really cool stuff. Here's all the pricing around all the swag.
And add-on books.
Yeah, if you want to add on anything
And
at
the
the
sketch
end.
cover, you could get the
Oh
blank
yeah.
version of that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do this cover right here, when's the next time you're going to a con, see ya? That way people
Oh,
can bring this to
February.
you.
February.
Oh,
You know
February.
what? Now I know that. I should probably start finding some cons after the book comes out because I haven't
Yeah.
done that yet. Yeah.
Well, that would be really cool. You know you're gonna get commissions
That would be
to be able,
fun.
yeah, some real art on your own comic book for a fan.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done that since Lola, and so it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Like I said, we unlocked the 25K, which is awesome. Still have 21 days, so you still have a lot of time to jump in. Yeah, the way you're going and how quickly you went in that first 9 days, You would think at least you would get to this one for sure, but man, there's a couple other unlocks too. So get over there and back so we can kind of see what else is available for fans to get their hands on
There's
for backing.
exactly. I asked my fans on YouTube, I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
I asked them a poll question and I got the response back. I'm like, maybe that's the next, maybe that's what we do next. I mean, that like, it was a no-brainer because I think what I want to focus on is making the core, the book, the content in the book itself special and then the material it's made out of. So whether it was going to be bound with like perfect bound
Mhm.
and or better cover and then or more interior stuff and more extra stuff. So I just wanted to focus on the core items of the book. And so that's, I thought I was keeping it simple, but man, even at this level of only having this much stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So much work.
Yeah,
Did
it'll be
you?
worth it though. It'll be worth it.
I'm waiting for that moment. I'm just like, it's worth it. It's worth it. Don't freak out. It's okay. It's just one typo on three different graphics, and I had to go fix it. It was like right when it launched, and I got some text messages. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, Vince was sweet. He was like, yeah, you're gonna make mistakes. I'm like, oh, well, not big ones. I hope it doesn't destroy my career. So,
Nah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Also, there's all kinds of links that you could follow Sia. Check out the YouTube page because it's phenomenal. Again, you've done some interviews. Obviously, you're walking through your processes. They could watch you draw. You're very interactive. So get over there and subscribe. I'll put all the links at the bottom as well to make it easy
oh,
for you.
thank
The
you
link
so
to the
much.
Kickstarter, plus all the links to YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and then your official page to your website too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my YouTube is where I'm most active in Instagram. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
most.
no doubt. Yeah, that's the mumbo jumbo you have to have at all of them. But
And Chris Rups with Rups Comics is going to be helping me with fulfillment so that I don't have to try to figure that out myself.
it's a
So,
pain. Fulfillment's a pain. I mean, it's a pain when you're a little tiny indie guy like me. I can only imagine having the amount of backers that you have and trying to fulfill that in your place. It's
yeah,
everywhere, and you got family
it's,
helping you. You're like, oh my God.
yeah, and then they get the orders from me. Like, no, that's not what corporate B looks like. I have like these long boxes right here, the black ones, the
Yeah,
black bins, the long bins. And so it's like, imagine if I had a bunch of those in here. There's no way.
yeah.
No way it's going to happen. So,
I'm glad you
but
got help because that I think when I interview folks that are doing Kickstarters and when they have the career you have and the backers that you have, some of them do fulfill on their own,
mhm.
and it just takes like
Yeah, it
months
takes a
straight
long.
of just fulfilling. It's
I
crazy.
know. I
Yeah, it's a
say
lot of
just
work.
just buy the plane ticket, pay the money, and go
Yeah,
do it right. I'm like I'm putting a chunk of it aside so I do that properly. It's just like please just get through this thing without
yeah,
any kind of huge like kabooms. So
yeah. I think you'll be all right. I think you'll be all right.
oh, you make me feel
Even
so
though
much
it's your
better.
Kickstarter, it's not your first rodeo.
It's true. Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
not your first rodeo. You'll be all right. So yeah, I'm gonna put the link down below so that way everyone could get to it very easy. Let's go back to the top. I mean, you're doing so good.
Oh, thank you so much.
I think it even went up since the last time we talked. You were at
Yeah,
270
it did
when you
actually. Yeah,
started.
one new person. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, congrats. This is great. So yeah, I'll put the link. I'll make it super easy for everyone. But congratulations, Sia.
Oh,
This
thank
thing
you so
looks
much.
absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. The story sounds amazing. The art looks incredible. And just seeing some of your prior stuff, like people probably have some pretty high expectations on this one just
I
because
know. That's what I'm worried about.
that's a good thing, right? You've
Yeah,
built something that people could expect, right?
oh, I guess that's what you call
Let's,
it.
let's be positive, Sia. Let's be
Yes, I
positive.
know.
We're
Yes,
we're good.
I'm
You
very
got
good. Very
this.
good. I
You
got
got
this.
this.
Yes,
You
you're
got
right.
this. And then let's talk. We kind of mentioned you said February you'll be at a con. I don't know if you've kind of built out like the first 3 or 4 months of 2026 on where
Mm.
fans might be able to get to you, or have you got that far yet on
I
cons?
haven't gotten that far yet. I only got this con. It's like an original art con because my art rep is going to be there and she recommended. So that's my first thing. And so what I'm probably going to do is look at different shops in different cities, maybe around a convention, so I could do a comic shop and a convention. So something like that. I think that's what I'm thinking. As soon as the book went to the printers, and I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Because until then, like nothing. I don't want to think about anything right now. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure that thing gets into the hands exactly when we say they will. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Are you able to share what con that is, where it's going to be at in February? Is this is
it's
open to all
Orlando.
fans,
It's
right?
Orlando, right
Oh,
next to all the really cool
yeah.
Universal Studios. I'm gonna be having fun when I'm there. I've never been to Disney World or Disneyland, so I'm
Oh, really?
excited. I always wanted my Mickey ears, and I'm too old to be like, "Yay, I got my Mickey ears!" And I
You're never
wanted it
too
as a
old for
kid.
Mickey ears. You're never too old for Mickey
Okay,
ears.
with a bow and everything. So,
My wife is a huge Mickey Mouse, specifically Mickey Mouse fan.
oh,
We live in
oh,
Texas, but
perfectly.
we were in Southern California for, 40 plus years. So she had annual passes and they would go like every
Nice,
4 weeks to Disneyland. So, and we're going in December because I have a work event in Anaheim. So we're going to spend a day at Disneyland
nice.
because she loves it. I'm not the biggest Disneyland guy. I'm not a big like around that amount of
Standing in
crowds. I get
line,
really
yeah,
anxious
exactly.
around too many people like that, but I'll do it for my wife because I know it's her thing. She
Is
she
it the
puts up
heat
with
too?
this, so I got to put up with that.
Exactly. It's a fair trade-off, I think.
Fair trade, very fair trade-off. Yeah, I eat a lot more of this than she does of Disneyland, so it's a very for sure, for sure. Anything else that you want to share? Is there anything else, or you're just solely focusing on Neo Wonderland?
Solely, yeah, just solely focused on this. I mean,
Yeah,
it is that really big boulder. I was trying to roll up the mountain by myself, and then slowly I'm like, hey, can you help me a little bit, you guys? Just a teeny
yeah,
bit, just a little bit of help to get up there. So I'm glad I have like a really small team right now, and I just wanted to say thank you to them for helping me out. And I have my friends that I call, and it's been nice to team up with some people and having all this little bit of help here and there, because to go it alone, you might be able to do it, but it's no fun. It just
yeah.
doesn't feel like it. So,
Yeah.
so that's
Well, I
where
mean,
I'm at.
so far, so good. 9 days in, I think you're doing quite well. So
Oh, thank you.
congratulations there. Well deserved. And yeah, see, I'm just so happy to finally get to meet you. Like I said, I've been
You
following you for
too.
quite a while on Instagram and YouTube
That's
and all that.
awesome.
So I'm glad to get to meet you. So happy for you. You're so talented. So
Oh, thank you so much.
congratulations. I assume you have some other stories that you can't talk about, but are in your back pocket. So as you get through this arc, there could be some more stories that you would like to tell.
Yes, and I think if all I could do is tell my only three properties, Lola, Dragon's Glacier, and New Wonderland, I would be so happy. I didn't even think I was going to get this far in my career. I just wanted to draw Witchblade and stuff. So the fact that I'm here now, I almost ran out of like track. That's what I sound like. I'm running out of track. I mean, should I really do these things? Because it's such a pie in the sky idea to do your own thing. So I'm so grateful for what I've gotten going so far and the people who are obviously supporting me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Well deserved. Sia, I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I'm glad that we were able to connect. You're always welcome. So anytime you want to talk comics or, especially when the issue comes out and we finally
Oh
get to
yeah, we
read
should
it and we can
totally
start
talk.
talking about things, I would love to have you
Yeah,
back so we
that
can
would
kind
be
of dig
fun,
into the
actually.
story and I could ask you a whole bunch of questions of why this and why that and
Yeah,
what's
I
going to
know.
happen
That
next.
would be fun. That would be so much fun.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah. Let's do
Awesome.
it. Let's do it. See ya. Well, see ya.
Awesome.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a
You
wonderful
too.
rest of your week and let's do it again, okay?
Awesome. Talk to you soon then.
All right, talk soon.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.